Hey viewers and friends, Andrew back again, and welcome to another slasher review. And today I'm going to be reviewing the late 80s slasher American Gothic. This movie is another fairly underrated one that I just picked up and watched for the first time fairly recently, and really had a good time with it. So definitely wanted to review it and hopefully get some of you guys picking this one up and watching it for yourselves. So American Gothic centres around a group of sort of late teenagers or early adults who are taking a seaplane out on a trip. They're over the ocean, circling an island where they run out of fuel. So they have to land the plane and on this island and try and fix it up before they can take off again. And they're having problems with it. The plane has broken down, it's run out of fuel, and they can't seem to fix it. So a few of them go off exploring and leave one person back to look after the plane, and they come across this old house on the island. It's open, no one's home, so they decide to go in and have a look around for themselves. The house is pretty much decked out in 1920s style things, like just a lot of older things from the 20s, and they're looking around the house, and then the owners come back, which are these two characters here on the front, known as Ma and Pa, pretty much obsessed with the 20s, really old school traditional values, and they pretty much want no part of the outside world or modern life. And eventually these teenagers or young adults start getting killed off one by one. I really enjoyed it. I thought it was fantastic, and the storyline and the theme was fairly different to your traditional slasher movie. The storyline was fun, it was fairly creepy in parts, and while the kills weren't necessarily anything overly amazing or anything, there were some pretty good deaths in this one, and some pretty nice twists throughout, and the ending was pretty cool too. So yeah, I'd definitely recommend checking this one out if you haven't. In terms of comparing it to another slasher movie that's fairly popular, it's most similar to Just Before Dawn. Myself, I'm not a fan of Just Before Dawn, but just in terms of similarity, Just Before Dawn's probably the closest movie slasher that's similar to this in terms of storyline and the sort of killer characters. But yeah, really good. So if you haven't checked this one out, I would highly recommend it. I do know the Australian DVD release is rather hard to come by now. I picked this one up off eBay, so if anyone in Australia is interested, just look this one up. I got it for fairly cheap. I do know the US release is fairly common and well priced on Amazon, so it's easily pick upable, if that's a word. But yeah, it's not a terribly hard movie to come by. So if you haven't checked this one out and you're looking for something a little bit different in terms of characters and storyline to your traditional 80s slasher, definitely give American Gothic a go, because yeah, it's really good, and another fairly underrated one, I think. So I would give American Gothic a 3.5 out of 5, and thanks for watching my review.